What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Vince Miracle, and today we're talking about NBA picks. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, look, guys, I do sports betting every single time, and as much as it sounds bad, I am what they call a degenerate gambler. I love to just, whether it's $5, $100, $200, my max bet, I'll be honest, I'm not a crazy bettor. My max bet has only been like $500 before. I've never exceeded that amount, but I've definitely won more than that amount, which is what we try to do here when making our bets, right? We want to be able to take our money to the next level and keep filling up this bag. Now, I've worked for multiple different sites before, one of them being hoop-ball.com, where I actually did Today in Sports Betting, helped revamp that podcast, vamp that podcast up with a lot of the other guys that do that show now. And now that I've taken the show over here and have joined this podcast network here for the Basketball Zone's Cowbell Kingdom with Leo and the guys, I thought, why not bring my talents here to the stage of this YouTube channel and bringing you guys some picks. I know that a lot of you guys are going to probably ride with me, fade me, whatever one we're going to do, no matter what. I just want to make sure that you guys fill this bag. And on this show, not only are we going to talk about the X's and O's of each game and how we think that the spread is going to be affected by certain news, we're also going to be, I don't know why my voice cracked there, but we're also going to be keeping an Excel sheet of my wins and my losses, so you guys can know if I'm a good person to ride with or a bad person to ride with. Now, last season, and I wish I had the Excel sheet up, maybe my boy Danny B from over there at Hoopball can, or now Ethos, can send me over my Excel sheet, where last season, during the NBA season, I finished at 53% on the year correct. That's pretty dang good, in my opinion. If you can get 53% correct, I like to bet on a lot of dogs, too. So to get 53% right in the NBA and to get those money line picks and also get those line picks, I feel like that is a good way to know whether you should fade or ride with me. And no matter what, the whole purpose of this show is to help people make money. We talk about it all the time in the post-game show when we do the Kings post-games. You know, oh, did Vince cover? Did Leo cover? What did you bet? Oh, did you bet on the first half? We can get all that and more as the show progresses, and possibly even turns live. But for now, just today, on this very first episode here, where we're going over just the 3-game slate here on Tuesday, I wanted to give you guys a quick preview of how this show is going to look, as well as hopefully filling up that bag. So the Excel sheet starts now. You guys can pull yours out. You know, ride with me or not, you know I won't be lying. Get in the comment section and tell me what if you're riding with me, if you're fading with me. But just always remember, hit that subscribe button and hit that like button so we can continue on to grow. And the first game we have on the docket today is the Toronto Raptors in Brooklyn facing off against the Brooklyn Nets, where breaking news, guys, breaking news as of today, the Brooklyn Nets are going to have 5 players now in health and safety protocols. Those names being LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Bembry, Javion Carter, James Johnson, and Paul Millsap. Plus, they are now also having Kevin Durant listed as questionable, and they're already without Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris. I apologize. Now, this makes for an interesting matchup because currently, according to Yahoo Sportsbook, the Toronto Raptors are still 5.5-point underdogs. 5.5 points. They are coming in on the second night of a back-to-back where they demolished the Sacramento Kings. Just destroyed them. Rest maybe not needing to be a true issue since the game got out of hand pretty quickly there. But again, this is a Toronto team that's been playing with some grit, playing with some bite. But their biggest struggles have been against teams that have a legit big man, someone that can take over the rebounding there against them in a matchup. With no Khem Birch, no Precious Achiuwa, they've been relying heavily on Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Chris Boucher. And the Toronto Raptors have made it pass. I mean, they made it work. Their perimeter defense has been better. They're definitely communicating. It's sometimes they come in where they're being very aggressive and they seem like they're up for the challenge. Other times they start off a little sluggish, and you know they sometimes see a little bit of hero ball from Gary Trent Jr. But look, this Toronto Raptors team, like I said in the beginning of the show, they play with grit, they play with bite, and I like this team here. You move over to the Brooklyn side, the 5.5-point favorite. This is a lot of question marks for me. They've already kind of struggled to find their feet. Yes, they're top of the Eastern Conference. I get that. Kevin Durant's been amazing. James Harden has played his role to a T, being the facilitator. His offense has been kind of wishy-washy. He hasn't been getting those foul calls, but the guy is still James Harden. The guy is still averaging 28 and 9. He's been phenomenal this season. But now no Aldridge, who's been their starting center and has been really good since taking over that starting role. No backup in Javion Carter. No Joe Harris. Obviously, he's been out with injury. I mean, all these guys being out. No Paul Millsap either, who's been their primary backup at the big spot. You're going to see a lot of Nick Claxton today, who for you DFS players out there is probably a really good value play. Nick Claxton, at his price, I believe on FanDuel, is in that $4,000 range. That's a good pickup, especially against this Toronto team that struggles at times blocking out and boxing out the big man for rebounds. Now, Claxton's a little bit smaller. Boucher may still have the advantage there just due to experience. Pascal, Scotty's been phenomenal. But then Blake Griffin, he'll be back in the rotation. And what does Blake Griffin have left? I mean, he's been completely taken out of the rotation. It seems obvious here that he is here in Brooklyn to be a serviceable backup. And just when your number called, go out there on the court. I think he got 6 minutes the last time we saw him play. So what does he do now? I think, to me, Blake Griffin, who is 3,600 on FanDuel plays, is going to be huge in today's game if the Nets are going to have a real chance of covering this spread. Now let's say Kevin Durant doesn't play. Do the Nets become underdogs? Is James Harden, Cam Thomas, Patty Mills, Blake Griffin, and Nick Claxton a five that you can rely on? See, these are the questions I don't know. The total points on this game, Yahoo currently sits at a 215.5. It's a low-scoring game. Look, guys, if the points are still there, even if Kevin Durant sits, right? Let's say that does happen. But we don't know that yet, and the line hasn't affected that yet. You have to take those points. Now, let's say Kevin Durant plays. Look, I think this game could still be close. Kevin Durant, automatic play for you fantasy players out there. All you DFS guys, automatic play. But on the flip side, just looking at the straight money line, plus 180 for the Raptors. Maybe if he doesn't play, take that. But plus 5.5 on the spread, even if he does, on a team that's limping in here right now. Bringing back Blake Griffin. Starting Nick Claxton. That's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes. I like Toronto here. I'm putting 1.5 units on Toronto Raptors plus 1.5, and I'm even going to put a unit on plus 180, taking it here now. So I definitely believe the Raptors, who are 13-14, can get to 500 with a win today over the Brooklyn Nets. I like Toronto in this matchup today. We move on to game number 2. It's the Golden State Warriors heading into the Mecca to face off the New York Knicks. Now, look, the Knicks at home are 4.5-point underdogs. The over-under actually is lower than the Raptors versus Nets game. It sits at 212.5, which actually surprised me a little bit. And the Knicks are facing some COVID problems. R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, these guys will be out. So you're going to see a lot of Kevin Knox. Oh, Obi Toppin's also out. You're going to see a lot of Kevin Knox. You're going to see a lot of Mitchell Robinson. Julius Randle continuing to be a focal point of this offense. Away from that, though, I mean, I get that Julius Randle's probably going to get his, right? Julius Randle's obviously going to go off against another team in the Golden State Warriors who's, they struggle to slow down many bigs, but their defense is top of the line. And if you can take away Julius Randle and tell the other guys to beat you, Derrick Rose to beat you, Alec Burks to beat you, they're going to try and go for twos. And we know with this Warriors team, they're capable of just lighting it up from three-point range. Steph Curry becoming the number one shooter in league history, passing Ray Allen against the Indiana Pacers. As much as I like that the spread is this close, and as much as I think the Knicks have a chance with the Warriors coming in on the second night of a back-to-back, with everyone expected to play and this line being this close, I am excited to say I'm taking 2 full units at -4.5 for the Golden State Warriors on the road. It's another thing, too. Like, think about this. And I'm one of those people that like to feed into storylines, and this is one I really do believe in. There are reports coming from Mark Stein stating that the Golden State Warriors were thinking about holding out Steph Curry and Draymond just to be in this game, just so he can break the record in this game. So the Mecca means something to them, but also so does winning, because Curry ultimately played in the game against the Pacers. They were going to rest him against the Pacers and have him play against the Knicks to where he can break the Ray Allen record. They chose not to do that. They chose to go for the win, which what a phenomenal finish in that game, by the way. They chose to go for the win, and he broke the record there. But I took away from that story that the Mecca is where they want to be. This is the place that they want to play. So with that said, I'm feeding into the storyline. Call me a crazy one. I like -4.5. The over/under sitting at 212.5. I personally won't be putting any money on it, but I will. I do like the over on 212.5. I do think that the Knicks have some firepower, right? Julius Randle's been really, really good. You can see guys like Emmanuel Quickley pop off at any point. And by the way, why can't Quickley be a starter? Just give the guy the chance. I think. I mean, I get that he's getting like 25 minutes a game, but Quickley is really good. I want to see him get more time. I want the ball in Quickley's hands for the Knicks. But I like the over there. They have some nice players. They have some shooters. Evan Fournier is going to have to be a key piece in this game if the Knicks are going to be able to keep up in this spread. But I just think the Warriors' defense is too good. I think that they're going to my personal feeling is they're going to beat them by 8 or more points. So I'm taking the Knicks the Warriors -4.5, 2 whole units. And the third and final game, guys, we have the Phoenix Suns, who are 21-5 on the road against this struggling Portland Trail Blazers team as only 1.5 point favorites. Like, the Blazers are at home. They finally got their guy in Damian Lillard back. Hopefully now they can start getting on a run. They did lose in their last matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But the thing is with the Blazers, they have struggled so mightily this season, but they keep getting love from the Vegas odd makers, from the Yahoo Sportsbook. They're only 1.5 point underdogs here. And I get that the Phoenix Suns, they don't have Devin Booker. They don't have him. DeAndre Ayton, I believe, is doubtful to play in this game. That's huge. But JaVale McGee has been phenomenal for them off this bench. Mikal Bridges' defense has been top of the line. His points have kind of regressed a little bit, but his defense has never wavered. Cam Johnson, I mean, he's a scorer here and there, but the key guy in all of this, guys, is the one and only Chris Paul. Chris Paul can facilitate an offense like no one else is, like we haven't seen in a very long time. One of the best in the league ever, best of all time at the point guard spot. One of the best leaders. Charles Barkley says it all the time. He's the best leader of all time. Well, I don't know about that, but still, he's one of the best ever, right, in the NBA world. I just don't know how this team, who's 21-5, has shown that they could win games even through adversity. They've made it to a finals. They have so much on their shoulders here. They can't cover a 1.5 point spread. Now, maybe you're on the opposite end. I mean, look, I'll say this. If you're thinking that the Blazers are going to win this game, just take the money line. They're even money, plus 100. You bet 50, you win 50. There's no. Why take the points? 1.5. So if you bet 50, you only win 40. Why short yourself $10? And this is just, average better bet. Why short yourself $10 for a point, for a 1.5? And I get it, like, games can happen that way. I won a spread just recently with 1.5 with the Kings, but I had that in a parlay. So, I mean, it hit. It does hit occasionally. It's just, for me, I like the Suns. I'm going to keep riding this favorite. I think the Suns are being overlooked here. I think JaVale McGee has played really well. Nurkic has been such a question mark. There's games where he puts up good numbers but still looks bad. Robert Covington now shifting to the bench. Larry Nance Jr. has just not been the fit that they expected him to be. It just hasn't been good. Maybe he's capable of turning it on. Lillard, after a couple days rest, after that game they took a loss to Minnesota, that works out. This game I'm really torn on, but I'll do one unit. Yeah, I'll take a unit. Minus 1.5 for the Suns. See, like I can go back and forth on that one, but that's where I'll feel confident there. So let's review the bets. We are taking plus 180 for a unit for the Toronto Raptors. We're doing another 1.5 units on plus 5.5. We're gonna take 2 full units and we're dropping it on the Warriors minus 4.5 in the Mecca against the Knicks. And finally, we're feeling a little shaky about it, but we're still gonna ride with it. 1 whole unit, and we're taking it on the Phoenix Suns minus 1.5 against the Portland Trail Blazers. And that is our picks today, guys. Please hit that like button on this show so we can keep this thing trending. Hit that subscribe button so you can get more great content just like this. Hit that bell button so you're the first one to jump on. And leave your guys' comments in the comment section below. Would you guys prefer this show to be live so we can go back and forth and have a conversation about these picks? I would love to have your guys' opinions. Let me know if you're riding with me, fading with me, anything you guys want to do. I've been your host today. My name is Vince Miracle. Follow me on all social media platforms of @VMCenter. The website, everything here @Cowboy_Kingdom. Subscribe again to the Basketball Zone. And until next time, NBA bettors, peace.